Hey, you guys, to Pidlong, the most targeted citizen. To all the new subscribers, thanks for joining in. This channel may seem a little bit crazy to you at times and maybe seems entertaining, but my life is not something that's normal by any means. I'm targeted by the federal government. I don't know why, but it's real. If anybody want to see the receipt for it, I can show you. I can show you the terrorist watch list that I'm on, and it's like thousands of them affiliated me with Al Kebab, Al Kaboob, Al Sheeb, Al Kalulu. It don't matter, anything in the Middle East that they got me hooked up to, thinking that I'm some kind of Middle East terrorist. As you can see, we're in the camo. Isn't it amazing, me as a targeted individual? I've told you guys how I've seen the entire interstates shut down before, just to stop me from doing what I was doing. Last year, if you remember, the first day of deer season, Mason and I were talking about this yesterday. First day of deer season last year, I got a big burn on my sty. We'll call it a sty on my eye where I couldn't see to aim. This is the one I aim with in the scope. Well, I woke up the other day and I got a big sty on this eye now, and it's about swollen shut. First day of deer season last year, we set up a blind right there on the edge of the woods where the deer walk across the road. And what did they do, Mason? They came through with a bush hog and a tree trimmer and wiped the whole side out where we had our deer stand out, our deer blind out. Wiped all of it out, just dropped trees straight on the ground to keep us from going in. We dealt with that. We dealt with hunter harassment with motorcycles nonstop. I actually got a video, and it's on this channel, of the neighbor pissing on my corn. Imagine that. Well, today, or last week, I told you guys when we came back up, they took the bridge out on this road. Today, this is what we're dealing with. They're paving the road now, and the road wasn't that bad to start with, was it? Wasn't bad at all. But now they're paving the road. So I've been sitting in traffic for 10 minutes. Traffic backed all the way up on a really skinny road all the way up to Mountain Place, and we're running late. It's 6:30, about that time. We went up 2 days. Was it 2 days ago we went up? We went up 2 days ago, and didn't see anything, didn't hear anything. Trying to be as quiet as we can. There's the thief that stole my motorcycles. I've told you guys, and I was the only one that's ever said that to my knowledge. I told you about social media and Google, and how Google and social media companies, if you've ever heard, go to look up Joe Rogan, just Google in YouTube, Joe Rogan, terms of service for TikTok, and look at everything that TikTok gathers from your account. Well, a whistleblower came out for Twitter. I told you that these people in social media, we know that these social media giants are against the conservatives. They are against God-fearing, blue-blooded American, red-blooded American culture. They hate it. They hate us. They hate capitalism. Well, I told you, what happens if they're blackmailing everyone? Because we know they are. There's no excuse for what these people are doing. I mean, they blackmail them with pedophilia and God knows what else they get them on. A whistleblower came out from Twitter, and he was the former head of security, cyber security inside of Twitter, and he's testifying today that, hey, they have 4,000 engineers. Not only 4,000 engineers, but over half of all the employees at Twitter can get into anybody's account, learn everything about them, everything, because Twitter unlocks the entire phone. So any messages, any phone logs, any photos, any appointment, anything, they can find out from anybody's cell phone, and there's no login necessary. There's no way to find out who's accessed that information. That was testimony given today on the Hill. Wow, didn't I say something about that 5 years ago? And everybody's like, oh, you're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. The power of deduction. I know how to deduce. Men are evil. They've always been evil. And God has granted me, thank Him for His mercy, granted me with the power of discernment to see the evil that men are capable of. There will never be a secure election as long as there's anything to do with computers. There will never be a secure national security as long as there are there are people like Google running the show. It's impossible when there's nothing encrypted to keep the information safe. I'm telling you, they're getting classified information every stinking day, and you keep wondering how they have all these leaks and they have all these whistleblowers and all this other stuff going on. It's all corrupt. They can blackmail anybody they want. There's nothing we can say or do about it. Except it's always against the good guys. I don't want to say good guys because Republicans are just a different head of the same snake. But it always seems to be the ones who are trying to actually bring back the old America that they target. And I'm not talking about Donald Trump's America. It was a lot better, safer place then than it is now. But America's falling, and they're going to do anything they can to further this drastic decline. It's terrifying. I went to the food bank today, still stocking up on my groceries, and talked to a African American former U.S. Marine, and he was just like, he's like, I can't believe it. And I was like, well, what do you got to do for our black brothers and sisters to get them to listen? And he said, I don't know, because I said, well, it seems like the only thing they'll listen to if you buy them off. And I'm not, not being hateful, not being derogatory. I'm just saying that the statement came up on the TV today that Republicans are set to take back the House, but they're gonna lose the Senate again. So, in other words, guess what happens? They're not going to change anything again. And when the last time the Republicans had both the House and the Senate, you had Paul Ryan in charge, and he did nothing. He did nothing. This country's done. It's wiped out. It's destroyed. And the system is set up that where the incumbents will always be employed. They'll always be there. It's such a hard mountain to climb to be free of the corruption. So America's gone. It's gone. My houseboat is in a standstill. I left a note, taped it to the door for the man's house I was going to let me build over there. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. More than likely, I have to buy a set of waders and go down to the end of the lake and start building down there by myself. I put on Facebook. I put on YouTube. I've begged for help. People who said, I'm going to come help. I've offered to pay, and nobody wants to do anything. Nobody wants to work. People that reach out to me and I help them, and then they just ghost me. Listen, if you've come to me and you've talked to me and we've exchanged phone numbers, it's because I care. I want to help you. When I check in and say, hey, just checking in to make sure you're safe, I'm being sincere. And people can't take 10 seconds to text back, I'm fine, or I'm busy, or anything to let me know they're fine. It makes my naturally built-in paranoia go bing, 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 bing. People just don't treat people like people anymore, and I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of this world. I call and check in on people, and I'm genuinely concerned, and nobody cares. Nobody wants to reach out to me unless they want something, and that's sad. It's like that. Targeted individuals are so damaged that you can't. They're so damaged they're not willing to trust anybody. They're so damaged they're not willing to put faith in anybody to try to offer to help them along. They just don't. It's the weirdest, most bizarre thing I've ever seen. I understand, man. I've been burned by the best and by the worst of them. I spent all this morning going from the courthouse to the sheriff's office to the highway patrol. And each time I go to these places, they just look at me and say, well, it ain't my job, or, ooh, we don't want to step on their toes. And I'm like, really? Well, that seems like the par for the course for me, because nobody wants to do their job. Nobody wants to help me. Nobody wants to protect me. Nobody wants to do what's supposed to be done for me, because I'm a targeted individual. Anybody else in any other world, you steal 2 Harley Davidsons and $10,000 worth of shop machinery and parts and tools, any person else on this planet that does that, they lock them in jail, especially somebody who's been in jail for 10 years. The person that's attempted murder, been convicted of attempted murder, and then they go on a robbing spree and steal 2 Harley Davidsons from somebody, you would think the law would kick in the door and take them out. The sheriff was like, well, you know, I can't really speak to that, but all we got's a court order. We can't force them to give you your stuff back. I said, well, weird. It's strange to me that when my fiance died, the same judge that wrote a court order for me wrote a court order for my fiance's husband, and they came to my house with a mini pseudo SWAT team and told me if I didn't let him in my house and in my building to pick out what he wanted, that they were going to arrest me on the spot. How was that system work that way for me, the innocent guy who's been innocent the whole time, and yet the criminals get away with it? I understand the Bible says in the end times good will be bad, right will be wrong. I get that, but when? How many times do I have to wake up and get my teeth kicked in? It's every single day that my son has to see me freaking lose. He was with me every day out here hunting last year. Was that not ridiculous? Every time we go to hunt. Motorcycles. Cars flying. There hasn't been a bit of traffic up here before deer season. Even last year, wasn't a bit of traffic. As soon as deer season started, the road came alive like an interstate highway. Diesels racing, motorcycles racing, just as noisy and loud. Planes. Did you hear the plane yesterday? Day before yesterday, we was up in a tree? Yeah. I recorded it too. The same planes from Salt Air Leasing. Salt Air Leasing was over my head today at the food bank. I've got that recording coming right over my head. Oh, by the way, nowhere near an airport. Nowhere near my house. Not the same usual excuses, just like where we're at now. We're 30 minutes from home, and guess what? There ain't no airports where we're at, and the trolls will still say what? You're near an airport. Here ain't the flight path. When we come off the mountain, I've got this, you know, those bleacher pads that you go to, like, sit on aluminum bleachers with, or real thick black rubber pads. Said ass gasket on them. I had that thing for 3 years. Used it in a tree stand the other day. Put it in this truck. It was inside this truck. Come out, get in it today, and we looked everywhere. It is nowhere to be found. Just gone. And I needed that going up the tree. That's what I used to put in my lap to set my phone and everything on, to have me a little stand. Just gone. Just nowhere to be found. It was inside the front of this truck. And it's just magically gone. Who's going to listen to me? Who's going to believe me? They come and go at will. They destroy everything they want to at will. The mind control on my other half is so severe that she had the day off today, and all she did all day long was smoke cigarettes on the front porch. Well, she slept till 2 o'clock. That's after staying up till about 3:30 on the front porch smoking cigarettes. Slept till 2 o'clock. Got up and did nothing all day long. Nothing. She's spoken 3 sentences to me all day. There are many worse forms of being alone than actually being alone. The worst kind is being alone while being 10 feet from someone. That's worse. Because you think to yourself, well, I guess this person really doesn't care. And that's what it really feels like a lot of the time. So, as it does most days, my days are always numbered somewhere, because mind control's real. They can manipulate anybody into anything. They can do anything. They know how to control the human mind. They can walk me around like a puppet, or they can make somebody hate you in a split second for no reason. Evil and sadistic this program is. Committed no crime, convicted of no crime, and yet I'm on a terrorist watch list, and my whole life is under a microscope being tortured. Let me repeat, being tortured every day with directed energy weapons, voice to skull weapons, with some of the most sadistic technology you can ever imagine, and nobody's there to help me. Nobody. Pray for me. I need it. This truck, oh my, I forgot to get gas, dude. We're out of gas. I forgot all about it. Remind me when we go home to get gas, because we'll be out before we get there. You guys pray for me. I need it. I'm really having a hard time today. I got to get this houseboat done, and with no help, it's gonna be impossible to get it done with no help. And every day, my money's just going right out the back door. Right out the back door. I tried to save somebody $10, and it cost me $200. Ain't that the way that goes? God bless.